Doubling. Is that something you should do? So, first up, a little bit of a definition. What is doubling? Doubling typically means 2 runs a day. But, I mean, they don't necessarily both have to be runs. It could be a run and a lift, or a run and elliptical run, by whatever. For your multi-sport folks out there, this is something we do a little more of with the multi-sport folks. Just instead of doing a brick and you got to get 2 disciplines in a day, you can swim in the morning and a bike or run in the afternoon or something like that. But for the runners, doubling is a way to kind of bump your mileage up a little bit. Normally, we want to separate these 2 workouts by at least 6 to 8 hours. And the reason why is so that we have enough time to cool down and recover from the first one, get some calories and hydration in, kind of start that recovery process, and then have enough time to actually recover and then get warmed up and work out again, right? So doing part of a workout and then sitting down for an hour and going back and finishing it is not doubling, okay? And that doesn't get you what you're looking for. Should you double? Well, that depends. It depends why you want to do it, right? If you're doing it just to bump the number of miles you've run or put in by the end of the week, probably not. But the first question is, what does the double do for you, right? Because you got to be able to answer that in order to answer should you do the double or not. If the point of the workout is recovery and it's hot or really sunny outside and UV is an issue, or you're really beat up and so like you can't maintain good mechanics at an easy effort for the duration that you need to put in order to get your volume for the week, whatever, then it makes sense to kind of do a double and split it and do part of it in the morning and part of it in the evening. That way all of the working out you're doing is hitting that recovery stimulus and not pushing you over the edge, right? You can use it as a way to kind of be a little depleted before the next workout. And this is similar to, we don't normally think of it this way, but if we have a workout in the evening and then we come around and do another one in the morning, they're not really 24 hours apart, but fundamentally they work similarly to a double, even though you're sleeping in the middle, typically, because it hasn't been long enough for your body to really fully recover and get enough calories in and fully rehydrate and repair the damage from the first workout. And so if you need to be glycogen depleted, if you're working on a long endurance race like a marathon or a half Ironman or a full Ironman, and so training in a glycogen depleted state is something you want to be doing to train your body to be miserly with glycogen, then it can kind of make sense to do a double. That way the next day's workout, you're a little more fatigued, right? You're going into it glycogen depleted. That way you can get more of that stimulus you're looking for out of it, of trying to get your body to be stingy with glycogen, right? It does allow you to get more miles in over the course of the week. If you're trying to bump that weekly volume up, that total number of hours, miles, whatever metric you're using, the total amount of time spent working out up in a not depleted state, then you can do it in that situation too, where if you have an hour and a half worth of volume to put in, an hour and a half working out is probably going to deplete you a decent amount, especially for the tail end of that hour and a half. But you could break it up into a 1 hour and 30 minute section, or you could break it up into 2 45-minute workouts. And neither one of those workouts is going to be long enough you're really depleted, and so you're able to do whatever it is you're trying to do in a not depleted state. And this is a little more useful for some of our shorter distance folks that are really trying to find those higher gears that demand higher glycogen input, right? That's the way the fuel mix works. You should not do a double if you're trying to build specific endurance that requires a longer training stimuli, i.e. marathon, full Ironman, whatever. If you're if you just don't have it in you to get that full long run in, or the long ride in, or the long swim in, breaking it up into 2 shorter chunks isn't necessarily going to give you the stimulus you're looking for if the purpose of that workout is to keep training in a depleted state, right? If you just go for like an hour and then you stop and you cool down and you get refueled and you refuel up and get those glycogen levels back up and then go do it again, the amount of time spent at the training stimulus of trying to hit that intensity, that effort level in a glycogen depleted state, you may or may not get there, right? So that may not be the most productive way. You may be better off going with one workout that's a little bit shorter that you can complete. If it's long enough that you can't complete it, it's too long. Like, you're not ready for that workout, right? And so having to pull the plug on the workout because you're not ready for it, you're not really getting a bunch more out of going back and doing another workout the same day. Like, you're done for the day. Pack it in, recover. And you also don't want to make up the miles you cut from a workout earlier in the day because, again, you were fried. And so this is more like for the folks that are doing like a higher intensity workout, if you got some hard intervals to do, doing 2 interval workouts in the same day may or may not be productive. Like if you overdid it and so you had to pull the plug, again, like you don't necessarily need to be going back and trying to get another crack at that workout later. So yeah, training in a glycogen depleted state, if that's what you're trying to do, as in easy runs during a marathon or full Ironman training block, that's a good way to get some of that extra training stimulus in, training your body to be miserly with the glycogen. If you need some of that extra recovery time, and you got your recovery workout in the morning, you want to come back in the afternoon, especially in the summer when it's really hot, because if the heat index is in the 90s or triple digits and it's humid, it's not a recovery workout. I don't care how slow you're going, right? Your body is still really stressed. And so if there's just not enough time in the morning to get that whole workout in before environmental impacts make it so that it's not a recovery workout, just do 2 shorter ones. If scheduling doesn't permit you to get in all your easy miles on a day, life happens, right? Like most of us are not professional athletes that eat, sleep, and breathe training, and our entire schedule is built around a training plan. That's not the way life works for most of us. Now, granted, most of us don't have the opportunity to train in the morning and the evening because that's when family life happens. But sometimes, if you have the opportunity to go get an easy 10 or 15 minutes in the afternoon to get a little extra in, it probably won't hurt you. Okay. The timing of when we do these workouts is important, right? So ideally, we want them at least 6 to 8 hours apart. Okay. Otherwise, it's really just broken up single run. Like your body doesn't have time to fully wind all the way down from the first one and be ready for the second one. And so you're either shorting the workout you should have gotten in if you should have just done one, or you are just not really gonna be able to get as much out of that second one as you would otherwise because you're still kind of in recovery mode from the first one. And so allowing your body to fully cool down, get some more nutrients in your bloodstream, get an extra dose of those endocrine bumps that help with recovery is really, really important. Okay. Doubling. It can be a way to boost your mileage, but remember, just having a higher weekly total isn't necessarily the goal, right? The goal is to hit specific training stimuli, right? And so if you can answer the question, what is the purpose of this workout? Is this workout meeting my training objectives with this workout is going to help me hit my training objectives, whatever the stimulus is, and I can effectively do it? Sure. Go ahead and do it. Just make sure that your reason for doing it aligns with your training objectives. So until next time, train smart.